5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're old, groaning like a geezer.
Hey, where's the beat?
When there's trouble, you know who to call. From the tower, they can see it all. When the sea are under attack, you can rest knowing they got your back. 'Cause when the world needs heroes on patrol, Teen Titans.
Go. Hey, everybody. It is time once again for Graybeard'S Studio. This is episode 109. If you can believe it, we're going to be tackling the Teen Titans today. And don't you, that's got to be, I mean, maybe we should discuss this on the show today, but that has got to be one of the best cartoon theme songs for like a superhero show ever. I love that song. And they did it in English and in Japanese. So you can have either way. So that's what we're going to be doing today. The lineup is back in order. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves. So let's bring in the crew. He's back and he's blacker than ever. Yeah, it's David Williams.
Say what?
Say what? What do you think of that theme song?
It's all right. It's not my Titans.
Really?
Yeah. My kids loved it.
Well, my kids loved it too, and I watched it and loved it when I was watching it. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at you,
That's
David.
pretty close to anime, and I don't understand why you could like that and not like actual anime.
Well, because it's like Americanized anime. That's why. That's about as far as I'll go.
I see how you are. You're gonna make me use the R word on you.
Here's a guy who lives wrapped in the R word. It's Gary Martin.
I was at my local Winco grocery store the other day, and some stranger waved at me, and then he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else." Then I said, "I am."
You know, here's a guy who gets mistaken for just about everybody. He's pliable. He's the Clayface. He's a man of many costumes. It's Dan Lawless. Hello, Dan.
What? Clayface? Huh? Where's this coming from?
You're a man of many disguises. And
oh, okay, yeah.
See?
But do you guys have a good St. Patrick's Day?
It's like any other day.
Yeah, I was just saying, it was just like any other day to me, man. I'm not Irish.
Well, mine was a little bit different. I don't remember it fully, but I got these tattoos, you know.
You don't remember?
I don't have any tattoos. I thought somewhere along, I kind of dimly remember going to a tattoo parlor for Ireland. Look, they got shamrocks, you know. I mean,
that's a lot of money right there, pal.
You realize you're going to have to wear that for every single Graybeard's from now on.
Yep.
Wear what?
For that joke to work, every single you have, that has to be a perpetual.
I think it's
thing.
cool, man. Yeah.
I have a little Irish in me.
Do you? Are you Black Irish?
Yeah, I'm Lucky the Irish pimp. Quandra, where me hose at?
See, I watched that video and I was like, David, what is going on, man? But you said that was a friend of yours that did that video?
Yeah.
Okay. Gary, what do you think of that Teen Titans theme song?
I like it. I like that show. I like the animation. I did a character study of some of their expressions. They were very, very expressive faces, and it was a well done show.
There you go, David. Dan, what do you think?
I love it.
See, 3-1, David.
Teen Titan.
And you worked at Warner Brothers. You probably did some work on that, didn't you?
No, I left right before that. Also.
Okay. So we can assume then maybe you're a little bitter towards it. Then you're a little biased.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Glenn Murakami was the art director on there and designer.
Yeah.
And he's very good. He's the guy who was above me when I was working there. He's really super talented.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess David has a little bit more love for the cartoon show than he was letting on.
Gloves.
All right. Let's address the old chat here, see who's here, what's going on, and then we'll get right into it. Corum is here. He says, let's go Starfire all the way. Stealth X5 says, hail. Creative Faye is here.
I'm doing it.
Says she didn't vote for Teen Titans, but she thinks it will be fun anyway. Well, let's hope so. Repairman Jack says, I'll be watching tomorrow. Glitch is here. He says, what about some Teen Titan villains like Blackfire? I don't even know who that is. John without an H. Someone needs to toss out Teen Titans Go characters. David, 3 minutes into stream. I'm done. Okay, can someone translate this for me? Someone needs to toss out a Teen Titans Go character. Ha ha ha. David, 3 minutes into the stream. I'm done. Oh, I see. Okay.
Where do you get that fancy font there for his chat?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, you know what it is? I did that. I was messing around with the media assets on this thing, and I can put different fonts on here.
I like it.
I forgot I did that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it. That's kind of fun.
It's kind of cartoony or comic-y.
Yeah. Let's see. Greetings, Graybeard'S in chat. After literally decades of publication, someone should update this team. Twilight Titans. Who better than the Graybeard'S? That's what Sequential Artist says. Rand Arrington is here. White Guy McGee is joining us. How about that? Robert the Bruce. Randy Howell all the way from Canada. Lone Star Viper. Pantheon. Matthew Muma is joining us. Tim F. Bloody Drake. Chris. McGregorable J.
Oh.
McGregorable J.
McGregorable
J. Okay. House of R. Yeah. Heat Miser. Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is almost always here. Best name I can think of. Durakos. Pitymaw. Randy Howell is saying geezer time. That's not very nice.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, I was just thinking about that beginning of our show. Like, we can really use that for a long time. Because
what I like is
like we could be literally old.
Yeah.
The standby for action countdown, and then it goes right into a geezer.
Yeah. Well, I got to take care of this though right away. You can't let stuff like that go. You just can't.
But just think, like we could, we could be like really old, and we're old, and then we'd go right in and be, hello, we're drawing comic.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
we could really keep that opening for a long time.
That's right. Well, when we started the show, I was sort of gray. Now I'm like,
I know. Like watches get older.
Yeah, age.
Do a time lapse.
Yeah, wouldn't that be horrible? You've seen pictures like people do that. They like take a family photo of like they're married and their kids are little, and they take photos throughout the ages, and you watch them just age, and the parents get all decrepit and old, and it's really kind of sad, actually. I always wondered what like Shatner or somebody felt like if now that he looks in the mirror and he's 93 or whatever, and he looks at what him, in 1967 when he was on Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to go like dig up pictures of ourselves out of the cabinet or, go, oh yeah, that's what I look. But there's like on TV all the time. You're like old and you're looking and going,
I'm guessing that Shatner, when he looks at himself in the mirror, still thinks he's an Adonis.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Mucky is here. N2 Paints. Chris says Teen Titans Go. Best name I can think of. There's a name I can't read, and I won't. You know who you are. Invincigaz is here. Anonymy T2. Let's see who else we got here. Just Aviator Surge is joining us. Best Age Comics. Blue Boy Comics is here. Queen Mickey is in the house early for a change. Usually she rolls in late because she doesn't want to be the first one at the party. She likes to come in fashionably late. So she walks in the door and everybody looks and she's like, oh, hey, it's me. You know how she rolls.
Where does it go? Team Titans or go Teen Titans when they say that little quick phrase?
Aaron, you put a lot of thought into Mickey coming in a little bit late.
That was just a random stream of consciousness. It was not prepared at all.
He's just got to say something mean, you know?
No, it's not me. I'm just pointing out. I've met Mickey. She's very nice. She met me and she had a publicist with her. You know, she's just, you know how she is. She rolls.
Now look, there's Abra's 2 cents. There's Abra's 2 cents. Now be nice to her, okay?
Well, I love Abra. She like disappears and then she comes back.
I know. I'm just saying, you know, when you got a girl in the house, just try to be nice to him, okay?
I thought that's what I was doing.
Yeah,
I'm never nice to these girls.
Aaron, you just haven't gotten over that she has a publicist and you don't.
I know. I was like, wow, Queen Mickey's got it happening. She's got like an entourage. And I got like my daughter, like, where are you? Give me those books. And my daughter's, you know, off eating candy someplace. The Vespa guy for 20 big ones. Hail, gentlemen. Well, thank you, Vespa. Appreciate that. David Williams wants to know if Batman was ever a Teen Titan. Robin. You can go Robin. That's kind of like Batman. Henry Thrune is here. Moss Monk. Geek Hero Bubba says, I'm popping in to say hi. I just started my shift and I'll pop in when and if I can, but I hit the like button. Thank you, Geek Hero Bubba. Please, you guys, learn from the example of Geek Hero Bubba and hit that like button.
When did Batman actually? What age did he become Batman? Like when he had that. He was pretty young when his parents were killed, but then there's that time from when that until he gets to puts on the suit and becomes Batman. Is there an actual age they figured out?
Well, Teen Titans wasn't around then.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, do we know the age of Batman?
Yeah, David.
Was he ever Batman as a teenager, or was he did he be was he 21 when he became Batman?
If he called himself Batman.
Wasn't he like 30 when he started or something like that? Because he had to go through all that training. It took time, you know.
He was like Jesus' age.
33.
33.
Of course, David would say something like that.
Okay.
Well, Jesus was younger than 33 too, so he was.
But he didn't start his ministry.
Didn't start his ministry.
So when Batman started his ministry, he was in his early 30s.
Yeah. Marcus Killigroup, very well knowledge. What was that, David?
Ministry of whooping ass.
Aaron, everyone is Irish on St. Patty's Day. Are they though? Queen Mickey, I'm here to see the two times Comicsgate Kings draw. Oh, that would be me.
Thanks for rubbing it in, Mickey.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I only won once.
I brought the heat. Hey, there's Koran Kaiser Stone. Dang it. Wish I could be on this one with you guys drawing the Teen Titans teaching class in a little, though. Meaning you're teaching a class or you're teaching people how to be classy?
A class.
A class. Okay. Well, see, the thing is, I thought about inviting him because I thought I said this would be something he'd really like to get into, but it appeared, he's teaching class. What are you going to do? Where's Abra's 2 cents? I thought you said you saw her in there, Dan. I don't see. Oh, there
she's in there.
There. Okay.
A couple times.
Abra, is it just me or do you just keep like dropping out and coming back and dropping out and coming back? Or are you always here and I just don't know it? I mean, not in this chat, but just in sort of the Comicsgate sphere. Just curious. Stealth X5 for 2 says hello. Thanks, Stealth. Appreciate it.
We can start now.
Katie did. Now look at Katie did is more excited to see people in the chat than she is us. I just,
it's a longtime friend. She hasn't seen in a while.
I guess. See, okay, Abra, thank you. That's right. She says, sorry, life gets complicated. So I'll assume that means she's sort of, comes in and goes out and all that kind of stuff. Why is my son calling me? He knows I have he only calls me when I'm online. Let's see. Andino Palazzo says, I'm here. Aaron belittling the chat again, I see.
Andino Palazzo. I like that name.
I know. I call it as I see it, man. Katie did. Hello, Graybeard'S.
And Aaron.
Wow.
Well, that's
Setting the
that's a
tone.
compliment because she's bashing us other guys, gray beards, and then he just says Aaron. You know,
No,
I'm getting a little
Dan.
tear in my
She's
eye.
setting the tone.
Got tear in
She's
my eye.
taking Aaron off from the start.
Byron Smith says Batman, not Bat-teen, David. That's directed at you, I'm quite sure. Ollie by golly. Let's see here. He says, I bought Gary Martin's book 3 times in the 90s trying to ink that Nexus page. I respect that as a capitalist. Excellent. Gary appreciates it too, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do. I got a piece of every sale.
Okay, so Abra says, I lurk a lot and catch replays. Okay, she's a lurker. Didn't we have somebody else who identified himself as a lurker like last week or the week before?
better than a leerer.
Katie's saying that's
lurking's okay. Leering, not so good.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, we were confused if he was leering or lurking. Yeah. And it turned out he was lurking. So
if you comment in the chat, can you still be a lurker?
I don't think you can.
Nope.
At least for that episode, you can't be. You're now an active participant. If you don't comment, then you become a lurker. So apparently there's this whole subclass of chat members that are lurkers that we don't even know about. So.
Actually, it'd be interesting to what percentage of people that are in chat actually comment. I wonder what that percentage is.
Yeah,
because I know, like when they did talk radio, like they the people that called in on the show was a tiny
right.
minority.
And they used to always say it's not the people that call in that are important to the show; it's the people that are listening, because the people that call in are very, very small.
Not the case here, though.
No,
right? We don't want
everybody.
Right, we don't want to bash our chatters.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So
we like you. Please come back.
Yeah. I'm recovering the lurker, says Grogu. So apparently,
is he a lurkaholic?
That's an interesting concept right there. Now, it gets started so easily here. I try not to lurk. It feels creepy. I try to say something in every stream on general principle. Okay, so Darren is just like basically saying, I'm not a lurker.
No, that's fine. Lurking is not creepy. Leering is creepy, though. Leering, I would think.
Lurking, though, could be sinister, though, wouldn't it? I mean, isn't that kind of, they're lurking in the shadows, waiting to make their move?
Can be.
Creepy, you're
but
right.
That in and of itself, it's not bad.
Okay.
I think we've exhausted this topic.
I don't think we have it all, Gary. I think we're going to go on for the entire show.
It's a running gag. That's as good as we got. Hey, we got a low energy show this time. We got to kick it up a notch. Yeah, somebody's got to get something going here. Let's go.
So
we need mange. We need Shane Davis coming here.
What did you say, David?
I said I'm rolling up my sleeves right now.
Okay. All right. Do you have something you want to share with us for our show and tell segment, David?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Oh my gosh! I got to get into the habit of just checking and assuming that David's going to send me a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Why do you always complain?
Because it's just more work for me.
Yeah, Graybeard.
I know. I'm old and I'm grouchy. It's not
start from the top and work your way down.
That's what I'm doing.
No, you usually start random.
Oh, dude, I got it all. I've got it all this time. All right, here we go. Sorry for that delay. Blame David. It's not my fault. I'm a victim of circumstance. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. So it looks like David has quite a bit of experience with the Titans.
Not really. So that's the one and only cover I got.
I've never seen this.
It's really good. I like it. Really like it.
Who's that chick?
I don't know any of these characters except for, I think, Robin and Chameleon Boy or whatever the heck his name is.
Well, that's Raven in the middle, isn't it, with the feathers?
Is it?
I think it is. Is that Queen Mickey?
Huh?
Is that Queen Mickey right there? It says, "Now bow before your queen." I'll bet Mickey will buy this comic and send it to you, David, to have you sign it.
Is that right?
She's got to color the hair black though.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Other than that, everything's pretty much spot on.
Queen Mickey put on a blonde wig.
So when was this? What year was this? 2016, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the Graybeard'S team. Welcome to the Hive, Graybeard'S. Now bow before your Queen Mickey. Oh.
And not too long after that, I got some work working on Bass Reeves, but during that interim, they came back and they wanted me to take over the Teen Titans book.
And you turned them down.
Yep, turned them down.
Wow. So was that offer based on them seeing this cover?
No, I had a working relationship with the editor, and I did a Superman story that he was editing, and he just really liked my stuff, and he was a really cool guy. But the pay wasn't right, and Bass Reeves was paying really well.
Oh. You were getting more for Bass Reeves and they were offering you at DC to do the Titans?
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Who inked this? Did somebody ink this, David?
I did.
Okay. Because it looks different than your work.
So they asked me to fly through this thing, and I had to. And I had some other I was going to show the layouts, but I forget it. I don't want to overwhelm people with crap.
Yeah, I'm saying that I love this cover, but it seems a little more. I don't know what you call it. A little more Art Adams-y or something like that.
Yeah, I tend to do that because that's what those corporations want.
That's what the kids like. Who's Peter Gilmore?
Very versatile.
And Vincent Gaz says, Aaron, please bring...
Peter Gilmore is the artist for Mandy Summers' Super Dead, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see. You guys in the chat are always going, hey, bring so-and-so on, bring so-and-so on. We try to bring so-and-so. No one will come on the show, okay? You just need to understand that it's very hard to get people to come on the show because they get destroyed by us. And that, that's kind of an uncomfortable thing for them.
Have you guys ever had Von Klaus on?
I've had him on my Sunday show, but he's a writer. He's not an artist.
Oh, I thought he was an artist too.
No, he's a writer.
Oh. He's
very cool though. He's like...
Yeah, he's really... Yeah, he's like got like one of those voices with like gravel, he's just like badass guy.
Yeah, he's just really... I'm intimidated by his coolness factor.
The funniest thing is, I think I talked to him once or just through emails, and he said that he's intimidated. He doesn't feel... And I'm like, really? You got to be kidding me. I said, you sound like you're no one would intimidate you in any situation. So it's kind of funny. Okay,
David, what is this?
One of many Robin covers I got to do.
And Chuck was working on it.
Huh?
Chuck was working on it.
Yep. And Alex Ross ended up doing this layout for me because I was struggling with the layout. Mm-hmm. And he said, hey, how about something like this? And he drew something, he faxed it over. And I was like, perfect. And I just redrew it and put my flares all over it. And there you go.
So instead of Alex Ross ripping you off all the time, you actually ripped him off once.
I mean, is it really a ripoff if he's volunteering the layout?
That's true.
I don't think so.
Now, here's an interesting fact about Robin. I just looked down here. So Stan Watch or Stan Woke or Stan Walk inked this book from the inception, and it didn't matter who the penciler was. They never let Stan go off this book. Because I remember I did a couple issues like in the 20s, 30s maybe, and not 1930s, issue number 20, something or other. And I was doing fill-ins, and Stan was the inker. And because they had this sort of mentality that they felt like that keeping the same inker would keep the continuity of the book, which I think is ridiculous because it's different pencilers it's going to look so different. You can't expect the inker to, it's like, we're going to get, Gene Colan and then we're going to have John Buscema, but we'll keep Frank, guy, what's his name? Dang it. Giacoa to ink both of them, and no one will notice. You're like, yeah, no.
Well, but sometimes too, they'll have an inker under contract, and
true.
when they're under DC like doing contracts. So when someone's under contract, they like to keep them on the same book all the time.
What'd you say, David?
I said that's what they did with me with Jose Marzan. Like they forced him on me on my pencils, and I was like, dang. I don't got no choice.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of like, oh, okay, I guess. Stealth says, do you all have for $2? Thank you, Stealth. He says, do you all have a favorite Robin? Any Robin with pants on, I like. Any Robin without pants, don't like.
I hated Robin ever since he fought Bruce Lee to a standstill.
That goes way back.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a Robin fan.
I hated him.
Although I think I tried to dress up like. I think I tried to dress up as him once when I was young, when I was a kid, because it's the only costume I could kind of work out.
Gosh, yeah, if you had pictures of that, I'd pay you to put them on. Would you say, David?
Be careful. I got to be careful the way I say this. I love Grayson.
Oh, not the okay, yeah. So you love the original Robin, but not the. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, all the other Robins are dumb.
I couldn't stand Robin until he put pants on him because I thought they'd just running around those little, booties and
Dixie outfit
and booty and bun huggers were like, geez, I'm not. Yeah. He doesn't make me comfortable. Yeah, but when they gave him the pants, like
too masculine, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, here's David's inks. Without
Carl Story inked it.
Whatever happened to Carl?
Explains a lot, Dan.
Oh, I like that way better in black and white. Wow.
The kids demand color, though, Gary.
I know.
Blow it up.
Huh?
I said blow it up.
It's starting to pixelate, but see this Robin outfit I was really cool with. Get some clothes on, young man. That's a
Brian Boland designed costume.
This is?
Yep.
I'm totally fine with this. Actually, I like the one in Teen Titans too, where he had the red and the black on. I thought that was pretty cool too. Just put the kid in some long pants, and there you go. Let's see here. David is dominating this segment because he sent me like 100 pieces. But here we go. There's another cover.
Ooh, look at that one. Wow. I love that.
Who's the bad guy?
Kronos.
Man, that's great. That's really good.
I like that cover. Yeah, the hourglass thing is cool. And you got the atom up there.
Yeah, that guy's face is awesome. It's just so wonderful. Yeah. And then the people are, to pull off people, Smalley, Smalley, is that a word? Smalley? Smalley drawn? I don't know.
David, how dare you cover up the Justice League logo?
Yeah, right.
Was that a no-no at DC or something?
It's generally a no-no everywhere. They don't like it when you do it, but they put up with it.
They're a little bit more generous about it these days than they used to be. Well, when I say these days, the last time I worked there. Justice League of America. Once again, David getting the bat. Was Batman even supposed to be on this cover?
Exactly.
He just turned it in. I thought it would look better if Batman was on here. Well, actually, the Justice League, that's a lame bunch of characters down there.
Yep.
So it's like you don't want any of those front and center on the cover.
Well, Dr. they Fate. All had a meeting and said, Batman, you take care of this.
Well, no, wait. Okay, I'm okay with the Atom, but is that Black Canary down there?
Yep.
Is that Dr. Fate, right?
No.
Who's that guy? Who's got the guy in the back there?
The Ray.
Yeah, come on. What is he doing in there? And then who's the blue chick?
So, Killer Frost or something like that. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. This is like when they would take all the good characters out of the Avengers and just put B-level characters in there. You're like, I don't want to read this book anymore. Yeah. Where's Iron Man? But yeah, so in the intelligent artist that David is, he of course put Batman right there. So it looks like a Batman cover, even though it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, what do we got here?
What's this?
That's a great piece.
A lot of Invincible stuff has been popping up in my timeline, and I just wanted to show this. and it was inked by Arthur Adams
Oh,
and colored by this guy named Kelsey Shannon.
Wow.
Kelsey
You ever heard of
Shannon.
Kelsey Shannon? He's awesome.
I've heard tell of him, but I can see Art Adams in there a little bit. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wow, to have Art Adams ink your stuff, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'll bet you still don't have the original though, do you?
No.
Oh, I'd have kept that with little Art Adams. Like if Kevin Nolan ever inked me, I'd keep it. You know what I mean?
It's weird about that piece is that he didn't change anything except for that wolf head over there. He hated the way I drew a wolf, so he did his own wolf head.
Well, that's cool though. I mean, on one hand, you're pissed because the guy's messing with your drawing, but the other hand, you're like, "Ooh, Art Adams drew a wolf head."
No,
that's what I think.
rather
If you
changed everything,
right, I was going to say, hey, Art Adams, do whatever the hell you want. Man.
Well,
It's
that's right.
that's
Make it
what I
look
was
like
hoping
yours.
for. I wanted him to do a Kevin Nolan on me. Just go to town.
Well, this dude in the middle, this kind of Race Bannon looking guy here,
Yeah.
If you look at the inks on the arm and there's a lot in the hand there, it kind of looks, there's some Art Adamy things going on there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it's cool. That's very cool. Well,
Kelsey, where are you?
was this an image thing then?
Yeah. Kirkman asked me to do it, and it was 3 covers. So
Oh, okay.
those are 3 different covers.
Oh, how cool is that?
Kirkman bought the piece, and he didn't pay me like a ton, but he said, "Hey man, I'm gonna send you, the whole lot of these Invincible comics." I never got those comics.
Why, that lousy.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Let's see what Ollie by Golly has to say for 20. Thank you, Ollie. I was an avid reader of the fan letters in comics. What struck me about NTT, what was that? What's that? Oh, New Teen Titans. Was how people didn't use the hero names. It was Donna, Wally, Vic, Gar, etc. The only other comics I noticed that in was the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Well, because they didn't really have secret identities, did they? I guess they wore masks though. Some of them did. That's an interesting concept.
Well, the Teen Titans, they're trying to copy X-Men, so I mean,
well, actually,
copy, or at least
exactly what was going on.
Copy their success, So
yeah, people crying out, "Where's Kelsey?" in the chat. And Dino says, "There's 3 people I've never heard of: Kelsey Shannon, Aaron Lopresti, and Aaron Lopresti." Yeah. There we go. Okay. Very nice work, David. And again, we're thrilled to have you back. All right, Gary, there's something going on here. Explain all this to us, would you?
Yeah, it's time to announce the winner of the Frankenstein Easter egg contest that we started on Aaron's Sunday show.
Yep.
And
I did not find the Easter egg, Gary. I'm very disappointed. Now, I didn't look a lot, but I couldn't find it.
What are we looking for? What is the Easter egg?
I was like, oh.
Easter egg.
I know, but what is the Easter egg?
Hang on there, Dan. Hang on.
I'm going to show you. Just.
So I can look for it.
Dan's getting all excited. Well, if he tells you what to look for, then it'd be easier to find, right?
I posted this on Twitter at 6:25, and the winner guessed what it was at 6:33.
Wow.
So it only took 8 minutes.
That's amazing.
I got a guess last night. So people are still guessing. So I can say the contest is officially over. We got some interesting guesses. The scroll on the upper left-hand corner is specifically pointing out my name on the scroll.
Can we zoom in on this stuff and take a look at these?
I will,
mistakes?
Dan. Would you just
look at Dan?
Come on, hurry up, come on, hurry up.
Dan, chill out, please, Dan. It's coming.
I want it now.
The scroll has my signature on it, and part of my clue was there's something that clearly doesn't belong. So people were saying that my name on this doesn't belong.
Well, that's a fair argument.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Let's zoom in on the item.
Hey, Stat. David, Queen Mickey wants a signed copy of that Teen Titans.
Sure.
Do you have any
Is
copies?
that a light? Is that?
Oh,
Can I
I
say
thought
it?
she was going to send one to me.
Or you
Can I
just
say it?
tell her one. All right, what are we looking at here?
Can
Gary?
I say it? Because I
Okay.
see it.
So
I'm looking right
next
at it.
to the next, and the other thing is, it's clearly in plain sight. It's not hidden.
Is that a
Some people were
lightsaber?
bragging that they got it. Like, I got this within 2 minutes. Well, it's in plain
I
sight.
got it the day before everybody.
Yeah, David got it first. Someone said that was an electric hand blender.
Yeah, I got one some mashed potatoes.
A lot of people said it was a lightsaber. And if you remember that I said it's a specific thing, and I used a flower as an example, so you can't just say flower, so you couldn't just say lightsaber. The winner guessed correctly, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber.
Whoa.
Oh. All right, Gary, my question to you is, how many people picked that bottle of ink sitting on?
A couple of people picked that.
That's what I thought, because I was like, oh, he's an inker. He put a bottle of ink there, but was that
No, I
actually
saw the
ink right
lightsaber.
in piece?
No,
Me.
that was in Wrightson's.
Oh,
I mean, I saw
wow.
when you zoomed in, I saw the
Only
lightsaber immediately.
But did you know it was Luke's lightsaber?
No.
And there were a couple of disqualifications. People, like someone would email me something, and then a few minutes later email me another guess, which would disqualify them. Someone was disqualified twice by guessing on Twitter, which is a disqualification. I said you had to send me an email. And then they also, in their guess, they said Luke Skywalker's or Darth Vader's lightsaber. That's 2 guesses. That also disqualified you. And I wasn't going to say who it is, but it was Art of Roy.
So Art of Roy tried to cheat. That's okay.
So he was disqualified twice.
Hey,
Plus,
if you're not cheating, you're not
guess
trying.
was like way after the winner.
So some people were even
the
arguing.
winner,
Okay,
Icebreaker, Darkmoor. And if you're in the chat, I will be sending you an email after the broadcast confirming that you won. I haven't printed the posters yet. I will get on that in the next couple of days and send it out to you. I might print a couple extra if somebody wants to buy some posters. I haven't decided to do that or not.
Well, hang on a second here, Gary. There seems to be a little Blue Boy saying, boo, lightsaber is the right answer, Gary. You weren't specific enough when you said specific item. And then he's calling for me to cannonball you.
Well, it's because your Star Wars knowledge isn't, as good as other people's. You're mad.
Yeah, well,
Now, did you say
Swine.
sorry.
Did you say the winner was Darth Maul? Because
No.
okay, it sounded like it's Darth. But he would know. That guy would know.
Icebreaker Darkmoor is the
Darkmoor
who got it correctly.
Okay.
I wonder if he's related to Darth Maul.
Darkmoor. That sounds actually like it could be is that a character, Darkmoor? It sounds like it should be a character. I mean, usually these guys get their
Could be a
name
cousin?
from something.
There's one other
second
thing
cousin.
I wanted to share that I closed the window on here. I want to share this. So anyway, that's the winner of the contest. Thank you for participating. I had fun. I hope you guys did too. Obviously, the point of the contest was, to get you guys to look at it. I mean, I spent weeks and weeks working on this. I didn't want you to look at it just within a couple of seconds. And so it was my scheme to get you guys to look at it.
Okay.
So now are you gonna white it out now and
Gonna what?
white it out?
That's right. Now
Go over it.
you're going to white it out. Just,
No, I shipped off the original to the client.
All right. So Gary, now do you want people? How long do you want people to look at this?
This is
what's
piece
that?
I did after the Frankenstein. It was a commission. Somebody wanted me to ink a David Finch piece. This is Aphrodite, I believe.
Man, that's cool.
So like a completely different art style, inking style.
Man, that tech is just unreal.
I know. My tech sucks. I hate guys that just like have this really cool, and you know they got it all from anime, right? I mean, this is all like stolen tech designs, right?
Well, why don't you just take a look at what makes it great and make it your own thing?
Yeah, well, I guess I would
Do
actually
some
have
study,
to look
good
at
old fashioned study.
I don't like looking at Japanese art. Makes me uncomfortable.
Well, look at this stuff here then.
I know, this is incredible. I'm a big Finch fan. He's like, of all the modern guys, if you want to, he's my favorite. It used to be
He
Dale
is really
Keown,
good.
Finch is now my modern favorite.
He is really good.
But if you're watching Dale, you're still right up there, right near the very top.
I think maybe my favorite modern one is Jorge Jimenez.
Really?
Yeah, I really like his stuff. Real strong, real powerful.
Well, that would be like current, I guess, because he is still working in the industry pretty actively. I love his stuff too. I think it's really cool. Who's that guy that did the X-Men for a while? Spanish guy. I really like his stuff too. He's still very active. He's a younger guy, about the same age as Jorge Jimenez. Pepe Larraz. That's the dude. You guys seen his stuff?
I don't know.
It's really good. There it is. Chris Andrew knows
Chris Andrew got it.
Yeah. Check it out, you guys, when you get a
Pepe
chance.
Le Bleu.
Pepe Larraz. It's very nice. Okay, Dan, what have you got here?
Oh, this is a cover. I actually showed this a while back, but now it's finally available. And because Sean Salter launched this yesterday, I think it was yesterday. So it's brand new, it's hot, and it's ready to go. And you can get this as an alternate cover for this book called Silence Do Good. And the story is about a young Ben Franklin who's kidnapped into a time machine, and he's brought into this advanced AI world, and they try to sort of subjugate his mind. But these people here rescue him. This guy named Nash here, and Maddie, the female character, and they all join forces then to see if they can lead a rebellion against this supercomputer sort of person. It's kind of a Steve Jobs kind of crazy guy. So it's pretty exciting, and it's kind of it brings in a little bit of Sean likes history and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. It's a really different and new character, new kind of story, and I think you should check it out and see what you think. Plus, you can pick my cover. It's not available Indiegogo. So
very nice. That's a great looking cover, Dan. Nice work.
So, yeah, I think he turned out kind of cool. And in fact, I did a lot of this online. My mouse here. Yeah, so I like the figure, and worked out good. And there's my tech. What do you think of my tech? Not bad.
No, it's kind of retro cool. I like it.
Yeah. So it looks like a lot of fun. It's going to be a good story. And Sean is an experienced, storyteller. He's got experience in movies and animation, that kind of stuff. So I would imagine it's going to be a very well done story, and I think you'll like it. So
there you go.
Check it out.
Yeah, just buy it for the cover, if nothing else. That's really
nice. Why not?
Caleb Reynolds says, "When there's trouble, you know who to call." Howdy, Aaron and panel. Hail CG. Okay.
Ding Titan.
Ding Titan. Looks like Doc Ock's arms, says Creative Face.
Yeah. I was certainly think about that. Yeah, when I did that.
Dave the Space Wizard says Dan always does great covers.
Oh, thank you, sir.
That's very nice. That's very nice. Okay, we're caught up on super chats. Okay, I got a few things to share. If you don't mind. This is the only Teen Titans piece I think I ever did. And this was for a variant Halloween cover.
Wow.
So you have Kane from the House of Mystery there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Robin as a zombie, I guess, right there. Superboy as, I don't know what he is, some sort of vampire thing. This is Raven as a vampire. And this guy, I don't know who that is or what he is. Beast Boy is a werewolf. That's kind of fun. And then this chick is a ghost, and I don't know who she is either. But I got to draw a big old lumpy pumpkin.
Oh, the pumpkin's awesome. I love the pumpkin.
That was fun. And I colored this myself. So how about that? Now let me show just a couple. It'll be easier for me just to hold this up. I don't know why I did this, but it turned out, and I kind of liked it. And look at that Frankenstein.
It looks like someone. It looks like Richard Nixon or something.
I don't know what I was thinking or why I did it, but I did it.
He looks like Frankenstein the Annoyed or something.
Yeah. Oh shoot!
He's really pissed off about being brought back to life.
This guy reminds me of?
Oh,
my proctologist.
Your proctologist looks like that. Boy, I'd be careful. So anyway, that's what I do.
I'd look like that too if I was proctologist.
And I also, I just want to show this. Of course, was my winning. Where is it? There we go. My winning entry on Comicsgate King, the Irish one there, the leprechaun for St. Paddy's Day on Monday night.
That was really good. Yeah.
Bigora.
Excellent.
It got me brew. So anyway, I need a pot of gold. So anyway, there you go. That's Blarney Stone. All right. Hello. So we're going to get to drawing because that's what really this show is supposed to be all about. And all right, David, who are you going to draw?
I don't know.
Ghostbusters.
You don't? Oh, jeez. All right. Dan, who are you drawing?
Starfire. I promised someone in the chat that they were looking for Starfire. In fact, they demanded it from you, and I said, I'll do it. Plus, I never drew her before, so I
have drawn her on a cover. I've drawn her. So how about that? All right. So, David, this is what I'm thinking. I'm either going to draw the 1960s new costume Wonder Girl or Deathstroke the Terminator.
Okay, cool.
But I thought you might take Deathstroke the Terminator.
No.
You're not going to do that, huh?
No.
All right. Chat, should I do 1960s or 69 about 68, 69, maybe 1970 Wonder Girl or Deathstroke the Terminator? I got one Deathstroke. Anyone? Bueller? Anyone?
You got one vote.
Wonder Girl, man.
Well, now we're tied. I have one. Power Girl.
Wonder Girl, Deathstroke, 3 Deathstrokes. Wonder Girl. It's mostly Wonder Girl.
I got Wonder. Does Big Boobs count as Wonder Girl? Is that what the?
John Beatty's already calling it.
David wins. Oh, Beatty, come on the show just once. Just once. I don't. It looks even to me. Everybody's like Wonder Girl and Deathstroke. So maybe I'll do a combo of both.
Yeah, it looks even.
All right.
Wonder Stroke.
A couple of Ravens. I didn't ask about Raven. I'm not doing Raven. Okay. Let me change this to here. I'm now sadly putting Gary in charge of the chat. So, and also, you guys, please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Helps the channel grow. We greatly appreciate your attendance. And here we're off. Okay.
Stealth is suggesting you post a poll, but by the time the numbers would come in, Aaron would be way behind. So
I got to learn how to do a poll. I don't even know how to do it.
Yeah, but you need to start drawing.
I do. And
why did that paper say Blick on it?
Because that's where I got it.
Oh, I thought it was some South African talking about black people.
No.
What?
It's Blick's, art supplies, vellum, Bristol, they're 11 by 14.
That's how they say it. You say, all the Blicks.
Well, you of course have heard of Dick Blick, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big Dick Blick. Aren't they all?
Wow.
Keep it clean, fellas.
You look who you're talking to, man. I always keep it clean. It's David is causing problems. It's
So Aaron, you're getting lots of suggestions, but people get wanting you to draw characters that you didn't even mention.
I know. That's why I said, okay, narrow it down to these two, and then you get like 45 suggestions. You're like,
Randy's.
I don't even know who these. I looked characters up, and I was like, I don't even know who these people are or these characters are.
Randy Howell, thanks for the update. I always am nervous when I have to send something that far. Queen Mickey's asking you, Aaron, how is what's the quality of the Blick paper?
It's as good as any of the other stuff. I mean, who does the yellow pads? Now I got to go look.
The quality is thick and long.
No, who's the one you usually normally get? It's oh, got it. Hang on a second.
Heads up, Dan, and Dina Palacchio says, keep it clean. I'm only 9 years old.
He's like, that's a Chuck Jones reference. I'm only 3.5 years old. Strathmore. It's as good as the Strathmore, in my opinion, and it's cheaper. So there you go.
Yeah, they're saying Strathmore.
Yeah, after I already got up and looked, they're all saying Strathmore.
Who's slurping?
There's only one.
We got a no slurping rule on this.
It's David. He's always making weird noises. Computer's always got.
You're getting a hail. Hey, Aaron, hail to the chat from Rick Johnson.
Hello, Rick. John
Mickey wants to know how much it cost. How much per pad?
Oh my gosh, Mickey, I don't know. Look online, man.
Yeah.
Go to Flex. They're
If you
like
want good paper, Mickey, you got to pay for it.
it's like $15, something like that. $14 maybe, 13, somewhere in that neighborhood, I think.
Good job, Mickey. Keep him distracted.
Look at Beatty says, thanks for your voting me on the Inkers, Mount Rushmore, Gary, Senate, Austin, and was Dell. Who was your fourth?
See, I can't remember. Dell might have been my fourth. I can't remember the fourth one.
We were talking about John Dell, but I can't remember.
Probably not, because they were inkers that I not only do I highly admire, but that I swipe from. And I don't think I swipe from Dell because he has kind of a Terry Austin type style, even though Terry's on my list.
Was it? It wasn't Tom Palmer, was it?
Who?
Palmer? Tom Palmer?
No.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it? Oh, doggone it. That short little bald guy.
Rubenstein?
Yeah, was it Rubenstein?
No.
Okay.
Wonder how he'd feel if he knew you were describing him that way.
Short little bald guy with an attitude.
Yes. But Gary knew immediately who I was talking about.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Sounds like he had it coming or something.
The thing about Joe is he's kind of pushy.
Oh, we got some entertainment here.
Excuse me. Sorry.
George Perez. Oh, leg kick for $10. Thank you, leg kick. It says George Perez did the best Teen Titans images, but does this include the villains? Deathstroke or Baron Blood would be fun. I'm combining Deathstroke and Wonder Girl. So yeah, it does include villains. John Beatty says everyone knows Joe with the laughing, crying emoji. So got gas, says the beam pad. All right.
Just warming up. Yeah, wait till you like a really big chap, you know, hold on to your hats.
Or as Sam Jackson would say, hold on to your butts. From Jurassic, whatever. That's not going to work if I do it that way. All right, I'm inking.
What?
Okay. That I'd like to see. Just like the John Buscema layout and then just go at it with a brush, not a pen.
Yeah. Don't. Well, how about a brush pen? Does that count?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
You think John would use a brush pen?
I thought I had a Deathstroke reference pulled up here. Now I can't find it.
I always liked Deathstroke. He's a cool character.
Yes, he's Deathstroke the Terminator. You know, there's that one issue of Deathstroke the Terminator where like Golden did like the first page and the last page, or the first 2 pages and the last page, or something like that. It's when it's like when he's behind bars on the cover. It's a Zek cover, but Golden did like 4 pages on the inside, and they're so cool.
Aaron, heads up. Katie sent a chat. I think you should read.
Oh boy. Okay. Where's Katie? Where are you?
Just above
Okay.
Brian Smith.
By the way, Gary, thank you for stopping by Monday in the chat. I smile every time I see you. Yeah. Thanks, Katie. Never says that when I show up in the chat, but that's okay. That's why I don't show up in the chat anymore. No one cares. That's all right. There it is. John Beatty says Golden did 4 pencil and ink pages. Gorgeous stuff. Yep. Well, not exclusively, but if they've got, their paper's good.
And their prices are reasonable.
Yeah. I've never bought Blick brushes or anything, because it wouldn't be that crazy. But although I don't know, maybe they're good. I've never tried them.
Now, you say is Zach still around?
Yeah.
Is he active? Is he doing covers or anything like that?
No, but he's doing shows. I mean, he's part of Renee Witterstatter's crew, isn't he? Like him and Golden and Arthur Sudam or whatever, they show up together at shows sometimes.
Okay, because he was one of my favorite artists.
Well, Beatty would know, I would think.
Beatty's saying, sure it is. I'm not sure who he's referring to. Mickey, Aaron's probably using Bristol. Bristol's a heavier weight than everything. Yeah. The watercolor is heavyweight, but it has too much texture to ink on it.
Right. Unless you're if you want a built-in dry brush effect, you can ink on water. I've inked on watercolor paper for certain effect, and it's actually kind of cool.
But it's not something you use all the time.
No. But like this piece right here, well, this isn't really the greatest example. This is a John Carter piece I was working on. This is on hot pressed watercolor board though, so it doesn't really have that much texture. But you can see I can get a real that dry brush look right there.
Oh yeah, that's
really easy on watercolor paper.
Yeah.
It's just.
But watercolor paper tends to be more porous, so it really soaks up the ink.
Yes.
So Bristol, if you're,
Well, sometimes that's good for me because then I don't run my hand across it, which I'm notorious for doing and smearing my ink. Because I don't approach my inking in a structured manner like Gary does, So he avoids running his hand over wet ink. I'm not intelligent.
Far Dog, I did research, and several of those lightsabers popped up claiming it was Luke, so that's the one that I used. He's claiming that Luke Skywalker didn't have a button that had a ignition switch. So I can't address that. I'm just saying that the research that I did, several of them showed that model.
Well, there's nothing left to do, but you got to give them all prizes now.
Yeah.
There's the coach.
Sorry, no chance. But there was only one said Darth Vader's, which is kind of right. But he said Luke's or Darth Vader's, which is, made it invalid. A lot of people just guessed lightsaber.
Yeah, that was my guess. Lightsaber.
But there were quite a few that guessed Luke's lightsaber. Quite a few.
Well, you have to be
the initial,
You've got to be like super nerd though to know that, right?
Because, well, I would say probably about 10 people guessed Luke's lightsaber.
Yeah, I thought it was that. Yeah, or the KitchenAid potato masher. I thought it was either one of those.
Yeah, someone said electric hand blender. It's like, okay.
If it had been a Star Trek thing, it could have actually been that. They just used a blender for a ray gun, whatever. But not in Star Wars, baby. I don't understand her star pattern. What the heck? Okay. I think that's who drew this? Is this oh God, I'll bring it up, Gary, you'll know. I think I know it, but I can't think of his name.
Brian Smith says it was Luke Skywalker's electric hand blender.
Okay, well, there's something there.
Yeah.
Gary, who drew that?
Is that Cardi?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to think of, was Nick Cardi. I think that's probably who it is. There you go. Back off, Tigers. The new Wonder Girl is here. So there you go.
Back off, Tigers.
Yeah, I think they stole that from Mary Jane.
Yeah, they stole that from Stan.
Yeah, Stan the man. And then Stan told him if you really wanted to sell, put monkeys on the cover.
Yeah, Mickey, I think you'll be happy with those Bristol pads because they're good heavyweight paper. They take ink well.
Yeah, and the only thing is, it's like either get like smooth or regular or vellum surface. It depends on how much. Vellum has a little bit of tooth to it, where the smooth is just like. So if you're going to use like colored pencils, I go with the smooth because you don't get that kind of rough texture unless that's what you want. You can get a much more sort of smooth airbrushy look if you're using colored pencil on the slick surface. But it depends on, what kind of finish you want your stuff to look like. Did you prefer like inking on slick paper or on like paper with a little bit of tooth, Gary?
There needs to be a little bit of surface to it. Too smooth. You can't do textures. So if it's really, really smooth, it's hard to do dry brush.
True.
And I also found really smooth paper harder to draw on.
I always use the super smooth stuff when I'm penciling. When I'm going to be inking my pencils because it was so much easier to get a real slick line.
Yeah. John says that he likes vellum.
Interesting. Well, it is more versatile if you're trying to do a variety of, like you said, textures and stuff. But John being a very, I guess we'd call a slick inker, right? I would think he'd want to go smooth. But hey, what do I know? John's on the Mount Rushmore of inking, so he would know.
John, while you're in the chat, you'll appreciate this, or maybe you won't. when when Zach was doing stuff for Malibu, they were asking for inking samples from different inkers, and so I did a sample for him. And his only comment was, "It looks too much like Beatty." So I didn't get the job. I was like, "What?
How could that be a bad thing?"
Exactly."
Well, there was a period, and I think I may have talked to John about this like really, really a long time ago, where Zach wanted a different look.
Yeah, he was. Even the pencils looked a bit different. I mean, he was a little looser, a little rougher, kind of, kind of a different style to it. So he was going in a different direction.
And I think I mentioned it. I don't remember who I was talking to. It might have been John. I can't remember, but I was just saying, well, why doesn't he just get Klaus Janson to ink it then? That'll certainly give his stuff a different look.
Well, different doesn't mean,
John says he was doing a more.
I mean, better, but
I mean, different doesn't mean any different.
John says he was doing a more European look. So yeah, I would agree with that. Randy Howell is posting the fearsome link from Ethan and David. Thank you, Randy.
Which reminds me, there's links in the description of this video for my Wraith of God 3, David Nevius's Fearsome, Dan Lawless's YouTube channel.
Well, can you this one, can you put the Silence Do Good, Ben Franklin's Silence Do Good?
Oh, so now more work for me. Okay. Yeah. Don't worry about it, Dan. I'll do that for you.
I can see you're getting right on it.
And well, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm drawing. I'll do it. I'll link it on there after the show.
Okay, good.
And so people that come in late can catch it. And also my website link is on there as well. So lots of good stuff there. Please check it out if you have not already.
God bless you.
Sequential artist for 5. Thank you very much. Says Roundtable. If you were a superhero, which sidekick character would you prefer? None. I don't want those kids getting in my way.
Yeah, I don't want some punk hanging around me.
Everybody knows what I think about sidekicks.
That's right.
I would want somebody like, I don't know, Thor being my sidekick.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. It's like, are there any sidekicks that actually have decent powers that could actually be a help and not a hindrance to you?
Right.
I mean, it's like
you don't want to be saving your sidekick.
Right. Bucky, I mean, what could he do? And then Rick Jones took over for him, and he was just as lame.
Brian Smith says sidekick equals bullet shield.
I can't think of any sidekicks that had any powers.
Marcus Killigrew says Stan Lee didn't like sidekicks. Well, Stan Lee didn't like paying a living wage to his creators, so
or giving credit to co-creators, but I don't think there is.
I think you read that wrong. Stan Lee said he doesn't like his side chicks.
Oh, okay. One of those.
Yeah, I did read it wrong.
He wanted them to all to go away.
Is there? No, seriously, guys, is there a sidekick with any powers at all? I guess if they were powers, they'd be a superhero. They wouldn't be a sidekick, right?
Right. Isn't a sidekick just basically like a roadie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know why they were created? They were created to get, to be more appealing to younger kids to buy the comics, but they didn't really. I mean, they were always like Bucky. If you look at the World War II covers, Bucky was always captured and being menaced by some Nazi evildoer, and Cap had to go in there to save him. And you're like, how is this kid helping you?
Yeah. So, it's like Robin's job was basically to pick up Batman's cape from the laundry.
Yeah. But when he grew up, though, I give Robin credit because he did become his own sort of like superhero.
Yeah. So, okay. So that was an apprenticeship.
Yes. I think that's probably more appropriate what they call that.
Now, I wonder who designed the costumes, though, because, Batman's is, dark and camouflage, and Robin's is, was it kind of like a distraction? Like, maybe if whoever's going to get hit, this guy could get hit first. Put him in a red and yellow shirt,
That's like they were the bait. They'd set them in the the sidekicks to lure the supervillains out, and then.
But I mean, if he's going to get shot, they're not going to hit the guy in the gray suit.
Superman never had a sidekick, did he? Oh, Crypto was his sidekick, right? I'd take Crypto because that dog had like powers, didn't he?
The super dog?
Yeah,
we're going to find out.
He was invulnerable, wasn't he?
He was essentially Superman's sidekick, right?
I said we're going to find out pretty soon in this movie.
Did you qualify him as a sidekick?
I think, you have to. He's not like his own thing.
How much did he hang around Superman?
Well, when he did hang around him, he was his sidekick.
Okay.
I think.
Dale A says, has Aaron ever read a Superman comic book?
I have not.
Now, is it any different if you got a Crypto to like picking up the doggy poop? Is it any different, or is it heavier or invulnerable?
I wonder, if you had like kryptonite, if it would like disintegrate the poop, so you didn't have to pick it up.
That'd be awesome, man.
I'm always thinking, Dan. Always thinking.
Okay.
Sleeping Psychopath is asking, wasn't Donna Troy a sidekick here?
Oh, she was. I'll take Donna Troy because she had powers.
Oh, yeah, she had powers, all right.
Forgot about that. I'm drawing her right now. Yeah, but the thing is, were like Teen Titans, were they all like sidekick rejects? Wasn't that kind of what they were?
I don't know if they were rejects. They just kind of wanted to prove something.
So like Speedy, like he's like a kid who's good with a bow and arrow. It's like, no. Oh, they had Kid Flash though. He was fast, right? So he could do something.
Well, Robin wasn't a reject. He was still Batman's sidekick, right?
That's true. You're right. Was Beast Boy Animal Man's sidekick?
They just, thought that they didn't see enough action as sidekicks, so they wanted to. I'm sorry, I got distracted when Dan was drawing that curve.
What curve are we talking about? Oh, okay. All righty. Let's see what's happening here.
My pencil.
Okay, Art of Roy says Toro was Human Torch's sidekick. So Toro was
he
like
was
a fire boy, right? I mean,
there's a tornado. Wait, was he a tornado?
He was like a kid android with fire powers, just like the Golden Age.
Yeah, so that's he didn't have to be a sidekick. He could.
Yeah, but think about it though.
He was a partner.
You've got a kid with fire powers. He's going to instantly be a pyromaniac. He's going to be letting everything on fire because he thinks it's cool. So that to me is more problematic than.
Okay, Dale A is saying she's a teenager, Gary. Oh, I see your point. Sorry. Sorry, Dale. I didn't realize that. Marcus says Toro was a mutant.
Toro wasn't a mutant. Wasn't he an android? Like. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember my mythology there.
Okay, hang on. I have to put somebody in timeout. Hang on there.
See, Gary doesn't pay attention unless you get a
No,
little.
so I'm going to be in. I have to go to YouTube.
Wow, someone's in timeout. How about that?
Have you ever had a guest you had to put in timeout?
I've had guests on my show that I wish I hadn't had on because they were. I've had guys that I'm not going to say who, but I had one particular person come on that wanted me to promote their book, and I literally had to I was like pulling teeth trying to get him to talk and tell about his book he was trying to promote, and he was sitting there like vaping while we were talking, and just I was just like, dude. So and then he asked me to come back on, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna. But I think that's the only time that I had a really bad experience like that. I'm starting over again, but that's all right.
What are you drawing?
I don't know. Supposed to be drawing Wonder Girl. I didn't like the pose I was doing, so. Gary, have you figured out the timeout situation yet?
Huh?
Gary, have you figured out the?
Maybe he timed himself out.
Oh, he did. Okay, hang on a second. He's not even there anymore.
Yeah, I hit the wrong button, and I looked up, and I was.
He was gone.
It's always a problem when I have to open two streams. So the dude that I put in timeout, I hope you're thinking about why I put you in timeout.
I hope you've learned your lesson.
Yep.
Don't you feel guilty now?
You, Gary? Did Gary ever feel guilty for something?
No,
like
the guy in timeout. Don't think. Just sit there and think about what you did.
Yeah, exactly. And I want you to write 100 times on a piece of paper, I will behave in the chat. I will behave in the chat.
I hope I did it right. Because I have to go to YouTube and open that up, and I can't do it from here.
No, I don't like that either. Come on. Get it together, brother.
Actually, I think I'm going to be stricter than a timeout.
You're going to do what?
Stricter than a timeout. He's going to put him on the rack.
Yeah, this comment was absolutely uncalled for.
Off with his head.
We're a peaceful.
If I can find it.
We know what Gary's beef is going to be next week.
If it keeps going, maybe this will be his beef now. My beef, which was going to be the other thing, is now going to be this.
No, since he's in time, I can't do anything else. Okay, so yeah, he's officially in timeout for 30 minutes.
Okay.
What does timeout do?
He can't post anything in the chat.
Stealth for $2 sends us watermelon, which I hate, carrots, steak, fried egg, butter, salt, candy bar, and a bowl of, is that soup? I think it is. So the full meal deal.
You know, I don't think there's any food I actually hate.
Oh, I see. John for 5. Gary, no point in blocking. He's got several dozen troll alt accounts. Well, we'll do our best anyway. Thank you for the 5.
Yeah. So I made my point. So hopefully, if he has other accounts, he will behave himself. Because that's not what Graybeard's is about, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's about redrawing until you get it right.
It's about Aaron winning the competition. If it was a competition. That's what this is about.
Yeah. If it were a competition, which it clearly is not.
Daniel Russell is asking if I'm making any corn dogs lately. I have to pace myself with corn dogs. I can't have them all the time.
You get to a certain age where that's danger food. You got to be careful. You got to just slow down a little bit.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I could have had an exclusive corn dog diet. I can't do that anymore.
Oh man.
Now, what is I don't really. I mean, I think I've had a corn dog, but it's deep fried and is it a hot dog deep fried? Is that what it is?
Like a corn batter. Almost like a cornbready type batter.
And the meat is a hot dog?
On a hot dog on a stick.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So, are you a Soviet spy? You've never had a corn dog?
I have, I think.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. We need to check your bona fides there, Dan.
Frederick Gemont says, how old do you have to be a graybeard? Do we have a...
Yeah, that's gray hair.
Yeah, I don't think age has anything to do with it.
Yeah, so you could have a traumatic experience and you'd still be on the show.
That's true. That's true.
Well, you know, when we named the show, there was several, obviously, suggestions coming from the chat. And it just so happened that all of us originally, and all of us meaning me, Kelsey, David, all had gray, and we all had beards. So then it became the Graybeard's. And it's just, other than Rini, who does not have a gray beard, pretty much everybody that comes on has gray in their beard. Just by luck of the draw, I think. But we take someone like, say, John Beatty, who doesn't have a beard at all. Of course, he has gray hair, but he's still welcome here if he'd actually come on. All right. That's enough dead air.
Thank you, Marcus. You beat me to it. Yeah, anybody in the chat that has a wrench, please. Police, you know who.
Oh.
I appreciate it. Because by the time I, get over to the other.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll just go ahead and say it. Somebody bounce Rebel Gaming, please. Thank you. Best name I can think of, $5. Art question for David. I understand flipping the paper to avoid skewing, but what is the reason for drawing on both sides of the paper? Just curious. David, explain your process.
Like if you put your art up to a mirror and you could see how crooked your faces are, if you flip it, you could see how crooked your drawing is.
Yeah, for some reason, when you see the reflected image of your piece, all of your mistakes become really apparent. So it's just an old trick. You have a mirror at your desk at all times, and So when I'm working in Photoshop, I just flip the image, and that's really good because I can actually work on it and fix the problems in the reverse image. And I keep flipping it back and forth until I mean, it's so good. I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
In
Or you
reality,
just hold what I do is just hold the piece up, turn it around, and hold it up to the light, and so you'd see through the paper.
yeah, but it's amazing. I don't know what that is. It's kind of
I
like
know. It's
you know
just a
something.
different looking at it, a different perspective.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes, look at it the next day and you come back and go, holy smokes. You don't see it either then.
Well, I
It's
think
like,
we have it's like a left-right orientation, or however you want to phrase that, and you're seeing it from that perspective, but you're not. I always used to hate it when you do a drawing or
I
a
know.
illustration, and like the publisher would flip it. It didn't happen very often, but it did happen occasionally. And then it's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I check this before I turned it in? Because you don't even think that someone's going to be flip it the other way and everything's going to be wonky looking.
Well, even inking something, like you can see, you don't see something that needs to be adjusted in the pencils, and then I'll ink it, and it's obvious. And then I look at the pencils, like if I made a copy of the pencils, and like, oh, yeah, there it is. And for some reason, I didn't see it. So just a little bit different perspective can change everything. Queen Mickey's clearing up the Graybeard. What's the word I'm looking for? Qualification to become a Graybeard. She says if they have more hair on their back than they have on their beard, they can be on the show.
Jeez. I'm not close enough to the cannonball, but if I were, I would.
Yeah, Mickey, just FYI, my back is hairless.
Here we go. There we go. I hate to,
Yes, aviator surge, yeah. Prerequisites. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, Marcus, you would qualify.
It used to be sort of like the hair on the back thing used to be like the big embarrassment. And then I saw Gillette like a few years ago did a razor commercial with some dude. I mean, he was jacked and everything, right? Good looking guy, the razor, but he had hair all over his back. And I was like, are they trying to make that a thing now?
Invinci Gaz, am I saying that right?
Close enough.
Says, I'm a model painter and I experienced something similar. Once I finish something and I think it's okay, then I take a photo of it and the mistakes jump out at me. It's weird. Yeah, yes, you're right. Yeah, it's just somehow looking at it just a little differently.
Well, time does that to you too. You can think something looks.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way, and you go, God, this looks horrible. Then you let it sit for, a couple months or whatever. And you go back and look at it.
Oh, that's true. Time, yeah, definitely.
So I just think it's all like stuff going on in our mind's eye that we can't. You see things a certain way, and then when you get away from it or flip it, you see it differently. Sequential for 5 says, has Graybeard Studio ever done an episode featuring Graybearded characters? Could be epic. That's an interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah, because you'd have like Odin.
How would you poll that though?
How would you poll it?
Yeah, I mean, what other? You'd have to have 3 choices.
Well, you
mustache, gray beard.
You could
Mohawk.
You could go gray-bearded characters. You could go gray-haired character, because then you'd have like Reed Richards and Doctor Strange and Deathstroke when he's, or who was the guy in The Warlord is the jungle guy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And then you could do body hair, right? So that would be like Wolverine.
Yeah,
and Punisher. I mean, who else do they draw with like chest
Beast.
hair and stuff?
Odin, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Roy Odin.
Well, he had some buddies too. Well, they didn't have gray hair though. A lot of the guys up in Asgard had like beards and stuff, but they weren't gray.
I was thinking about doing a Kirby portrait, like real detailed crosshatch, and then surrounding him with, some of my favorite characters in his style.
That'd be fun.
And so I'm Googling, Kirby artwork, and of course Odin pops up. Kirby drew Odin every single time he drew Odin. Odin was just so awesome. Just the crazy, outfits that Odin wore, his headgear, and that's just, man, Kirby was amazing.
There you go. Cable, also gray. He could work in both because he had gray hair and he also had gray beard at times. It was the goatee he had going on there.
Past Master Dan, I think you've strayed from the topic. His comment is, I have ear hairs that you can string a banjo with. Are you just throwing that out there, or does that relate to anything that we were talking about?
Well, we were talking about hair, right? So,
It's a safe space. You can share.
Hi, Father. Skull Nasher says.
Yeah, see, there's another one.
Yeah. Nick Fury, Drifter says.
See, we got a whole thing going on there.
Aviator says, as long as a banjo is in tune, it's all good.
All right. Here we go. Here's a little Kirby Odin goodness there. Look at that. There you go.
Yeah, see, come on.
Crazy stuff. Look at that.
That's so awesome.
And he would, I don't know that anything Odin wore was ever consistent with the next thing that he drew him.
Right, that's true, because he's just making it up as he went along.
Like, check this one out. I got a million of them. Where are we at? Here we go.
And that was before people went, oh my gosh, he's got a different costume. It's not consistent.
Because he had like big horn type things on his helmet. Very Viking-like,
That is just amazing.
And then how about this? Just like every single one of these is different.
You imagine his closet.
Look at that.
Look at the helmet.
I know. It's just like
he must have like a whole wing in his palace just to store his helmets.
Well, it's like that Kirby was like, after he drew it on one panel, he's like, oh God, what was I thinking?
And Odin got a lot of splash pages.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of his dialogue ends with, I have spoken.
So speaks Odin.
Yeah. So it shall be written. So it shall be done.
All right, this is my favorite.
Gary, I think you could bring that phrase back here for the show. You could say that.
What?
Whenever you say something, I have spoken.
No, Aaron trumps that.
Did you just say Trump? Right,
as in, it's Aaron's show.
Yeah.
How does he walk through doors? That's a good question. But yeah, Kirby always went crazy when he was drawing Odin. You could tell he was really having a lot of fun.
This is my favorite Odin cover right here.
Look at that head coming out.
And the absorbing man in the foreground. Thor.
I love absorbing man. He was one of my favorite villains because, like the Marvel cartoons, he had this real grubby voice.
Gary, I drew him once in a short story.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have to show you.
like to see it.
Hey,
Yeah, he was in
I'm sorry.
the Hulk Power Pack story that Dave and I worked on.
Did it's like Absorbing Man, the Wrecker guy. I love that guy.
Yeah, the Wrecker.
At least when Kirby drew him.
See, I get those two mixed up, but yeah, I love the Wrecker too. Yeah. Remember when the Wrecker got superpowers and like he pulled the building down with his crowbar?
Yes, that was the thing. Like, and all the Thor stuff. Loki created all these supervillains.
Yeah, just take a regular guy and make him a supervillain so he can fight Thor.
Yep, he created the Wrecker. He gave him the magic crowbar, and then he created the Absorbing Man, and
but just like two buildings standing next to each other, and he uses a crowbar to bring one of them down by wedging it in the two buildings. Doesn't hurt one building, but destroys the other.
Well, he is the Wrecker. So he has experience.
Mickey's asking what year was this?
This was Journey to Mystery 122, so this would have been probably 1966, possibly 67, because Thor 126, Thor 126 is when Journey to Mystery became Thor, and that's considered Thor number 1 is Thor 126. That was 1967. So this was 5 issues before that, so it would have been 67 or late 66. And yes, I have a near mint copy of this comic. Just saying.
Okay, I will read this. Schlong Connery is asking, just got in. Is that Lawless's tats trying to be a CG sex symbol?
Oh, of course. Well, I already thought I was, but I just, I'm just kicking it up a notch.
And we have to make a special announcement when we get the Wizard sleeves. All caps, he's saying, hail to all my Comicscape peoples. Cheers. Graybeard'S. Thank you, Wizard.
The grooviest of the grooviest Wizard sleeves. Every time you say Wizard sleeves or I read it, it makes me think of like a Frank Bruner drawing or something.
Okay.
70s.
So we're going to start calling Dan Tat Sleeves.
Tat Sleeves.
Doesn't sound right.
He got his powers from Loki. His powers of tattoos. Does anybody know if Wonder Girl, does she have a lasso or not?
A lasso? I don't know. Marcus, did Wonder Girl have a lasso?
He would know.
He had a hammer.
What? Why do I even listen to David? He just draws me right in.
Careful there, Roy. I might have to put you in timeout. This is your first warning.
Oh my God.
Marcomi's asking Bullwhip.
See, I don't know if these guys are being serious or not. Like these.
She could have had a whip, right?
She didn't have a whip, did she?
Oh, I'm sorry, but it seemed like a reasonable thing to have.
Wonder Girl.
Nothing kinky about it, Aaron. It's
well, I guess Indiana Jones had one, right? So
Zorro had a whip.
Did he?
Yeah. He used it to, swing from building to building.
Zorro?
Yes.
Okay, right. I'm not a big Zorro guy, so I'm not one to like. Wonder Girl does have a lasso on the cover of New Teen Titans #1. Okay. For this episode, Wonder Girl would need a wrench. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's true. It's gotten a little salty in the chat. I wonder why the weirdos have targeted us today. What's so special about today? Oh.
Well, the springtime is coming, Spring's in the air.
I guess it is. Why
So people getting
Leg
frisky.
is saying she had a lasso. And so is Marcus.
Well, like I said, there's some knowledgeable people in here that that know things.
Drawing ropes aren't easy. You just like keep it in a loop, so it's it's not going all over the place.
I know. Adam Hughes once told me, he said, when you draw Wonder Woman's, he said he drew Wonder Woman's lasso like a rope. He said, instead of, everybody draws it like a wet noodle. He goes, it's a rope.
Yeah, so it should have some.
Yeah, how a rope intertwines or whatever you call it.
Some stiffness to it, eh?
Some what?
Stiffness.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that word. I was trying to think of something else.
Dan doesn't avoid words like that.
It's like a rope that's been starched.
It's like a long thing that became hard.
But like a climbing rope is
okay. Bounce, Dan.
is noodly, but a cowboy rope, has body to it. Rigidity. That's it. Thank you. Brooding Viking. Thank you. Rigidity.
That's what we're looking for. That's the magic word today. Rigidity. It's like Sesame Street or something. Today's word, rigidity. Did Perez design Deathstroke?
Who?
I don't know.
I think he did, because I think Perez was the first artist on the new Teen Titans, right?
Yeah.
Then he would have had to have designed it. Marcus Killigrew, of course, will let us know in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Endless Bourgeoisie says yes.
Okay.
So we beat him to it.
Who designed this Starfire? It's a bit of a McNamara's band back there.
Leg kick for 5. There's a Phil Tippett documentary on Prime if you are interested. Oh, actually, I am interested. Phil Tippett, of course. Well, he started off doing the special effects for Jurassic Park until they decided to go digital, but he still did, I think, all the design stuff, or his studio did. Well, no, that's not right, because it was Stan Winston designed all the dinosaurs, so Tippett was supposed to do all the go motion, the stop motion, which they were originally going to do for Jurassic Park, and then it got replaced by the digital, but somehow he still worked with the digital animators, I guess. I don't know. Poor Phil Tippett.
Best Age Comics says Starfire was Perez, and Leg Kick says he created Deathstroke. And Mickey's asking, where did I get the trombone from? eBay. What do you think?
Where did you get the what?
Trombone from?
Trombone.
Oh.
eBay. It was actually quite reasonable.
Did you get it specifically for this show?
Yes.
See, Gary.
I have no other occasion to use it.
Gary reinvests in the show. I got to give him credit. You know, he had puppet videos made. He buys trombones, and
I also bought pretty much all the sound effect stuff that I use all comes from chat money.
It went all right. 2 procedures coming up.
yay. Shelly's in the house, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, Shelly.
Hi. Ooh.
Hey, Jelly.
We had some potty mouths in the chat earlier. You missed out.
But
I'm a little crusty on you.
they gave me a talking to, Shelly, and I'm all right now.
Okay. You feel better?
They got the bar soap out for me, and
Ooh, a little Tabasco on
Just
it,
like
too.
the good old days, yeah.
Hi.
Did you guys ever get the bar soap? Like,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Yes.
That was minor.
Shelly longed for the borrowed soap.
Yeah.
So Shelley's getting way more hellos than Aaron does.
I know. That's why I kicked her off my Sunday show, because I was like, I'm tired of being playing second fiddle.
Right. No. So they're gonna do my low back first, hopefully before we go, and then
That'd be great.
and then occipital blocks. All right. Well, I'm going back to bed. So.
Take care, Shelley.
Oh, thanks. Come on, that's first.
Okay.
There's about 10 topics going on in the chat. It's hard to keep up. Somebody's saying, Robot Man was in Doom Patrol. When was Robot Man even brought up? It's like they're talking about Robot Man.
Didn't you work on him with?
Yeah, I worked on Doom Patrol for a while.
Yeah, but who was the artist? Steve Lytle, right?
Steve Lytle started it, and then there were a few after him. Steve Lytle was a really terrific artist, but he couldn't keep a deadline. That was his problem. So it was hard for him to stay on a book.
Yeah, and
but his illustrations, were really good.
Yeah, he just sort of disappeared after a while.
Yeah, that's because he couldn't make a living, because he couldn't, turn out pages. And that's why he got taken off of Doom Patrol, not because of the quality of the work, but well, the quality did suffer because he was trying to make deadlines, and the first issue was just one of the best things I'd ever inked, and by the fifth issue, it was the worst things I'd ever inked. I'm serious, because he was, okay. They gave him 3 months lead time before they were going to start publishing from Doom Patrol #1. And by the time he finished the first issue, he had eaten up the 3 months and the book was already late. So he had no lead time for issue 2.
It's funny how 3 months ahead was supposed to be the standard, and it just but it was supposed to be like, usually you'd start a first issue for a new series like 5 to 6 months ahead of time is what you're supposed to do. And they always had even when I was at DC, they would have big plans, right? And they'd be 5 to 6 months ahead, and we're going to start this next week. But then different editorial voices would come in, and before you know it, they'd make a bunch of changes, and then 2 months were gone.
Yeah, and there goes the time.
Yet, and then suddenly you only had 3 months to get that first issue out, and then it was like you got 2.5 months to, and before you even started, you were behind.
Yeah. Doom Patrol was Lytle's first regular book in his career, and he was trying to make a statement, and he did. That first issue was gorgeous, but he just couldn't manage the deadlines.
Yeah, it's you think about somebody like back in the 70s, like with Wrightson, for example, that I wonder how he managed to get Swamp Thing bi-monthly. I mean, they started off Swamp Thing as a bi-monthly book, and I wonder if that was because he was inking himself, or if they just didn't think it would sell that well, and so it was
probably they knew Wrightson and did it for him.
Probably.
Because Lynn Wein was the writer, right? So he knew what Wrightson could do. Headless Bourgeoisie is asking me, did I ink Eric Larson when he became the pencil on Doom Patrol? Yes, I inked several of Eric's.
So, Gary, did you know Jeff Albrecht?
Yeah.
Did I know him?
Yes.
I don't know if I could say I knew him.
Okay. Because he was in my area. That's one of the few artists I knew when I was in it. He inked my the thing I mentioned. The
I knew of him, but
yeah,
we weren't friends.
Absorbing Man was inked. That story I did was it had Titania and Absorbing Man in it. It was sort of a short story. It was a Valentine's story actually. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, well, he worked at CrossGen a little bit. I think he inked something of mine once. I can't remember though. I know I talked to him on more than one occasion. I'm sure, but
yeah, he was nearby me. So
okay. Comics for Life is asking Gary, did you ever ink over Perez? He seemed to ink with all that details. Well, yeah. I was Dick Giordano's assistant. And Giordano inked a lot of Perez at DC, and so I inked a lot of George Perez backgrounds. So yeah, I know what you mean. He he packed it in.
what like on Teen Titans? Was that what Perez was?
On covers and stuff like that. Some like licensing stuff.
I was never dialed in on DC, so I knew Perez was over there doing like Teen Titans and stuff, but and he started off. I think he started off. Was he inking Byrne on Avengers, or was it something like that? Didn't he ink some of
Perez?
Yeah,
I don't remember him inking Byrne on. Didn't he ask to ink you, or his agent asked to ink you? You remember? And you turned him down.
Yeah.
Right? Am I getting that right?
Yep. It was an independent book, right? And the guy that was doing the book, I don't know if I should say his name or not, but
why not?
I still do stuff for this guy every once in a while. But he was like, yeah, I want you to do this cover of my character. I think the character was called The Dark or something like that. And he goes, and I want George Perez to ink it. And I went, no. And it just, how should one say this, Gary? I just did not feel that George was the correct inker for my style. Is that a good way to say it?
Well, see, you're being diplomatic. I would say that George was really not known as an inker. I mean, he was, when you think of inkers, George's name does not come up.
Yes.
And in my opinion, see, I could get in trouble for saying this.
Yep. There we go.
Out of all the people that have inked George Perez, George himself is my least favorite.
Sounds pretty diplomatic. I know.
Yeah, it just
so for George to ink other people, or to want to ink Aaron. I know why George wanted to ink Aaron, but I know why Aaron said no.
Well, and I think this guy was probably kind of ticked because I think he wanted George's name on it, to kind of help.
Oh yeah. Well, no, definitely George's name would have, and you may have been able to sell the original for more money. I don't know.
I don't know if I sold the original at all because it was just like a complete, like really super small indie comic, and I like black and white type stuff.
Yeah.
But the guy who did it, had money. And he still, he hires me to do like his Christmas cards every once in a while. So
yeah, I'm sure George's inking rate was probably higher than yours.
Yeah, my way higher, I'm sure. But he was like so excited. He's like, "Yeah, I got George Perez to ink it," and I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah, no thanks. And I'm sure to this day he doesn't understand why you said no.
Yeah, well. I also did not take Jerry Ordway when I had a chance to ink me.
Really? See, I love Ordway.
Well,
He's a very strong inker. I mean, he makes everything he inks look like Ordway.
Right, and this was not 1988 Jerry Ordway. You know?
Oh, okay.
This is 2000 and
Okay. Enough said.
Jerry Ordway, right?
Yeah,
So,
enough said. Art of Roy is not holding back. He says Perez stunk as an inker. I think he used rapidograph on everything back then. Yeah, you might be right. I think he used technical pens to ink.
well, but as I like to say, it's not the tool; it's the guy wielding it. And because Travis Charest used technical pens and looks pretty good when he inks himself.
No mercy.
Yeah, but Ordway in his prime, nobody better.
Yeah, when he did that Shazam graphic novel, and his work on Superman was really good too.
Yep.
I remember that Shazam graphic novel that he wrote and drew. And I can't remember if he inked himself or if Janky inked him.
I don't remember.
And he would ink Dan Jurgens too.
Yeah.
And did a nice job.
Oh yeah.
But there's just, and this would always irritate me about editors, is they just not an understanding of art at all. And they would put two guys together that were like, like, this is not a good match. What are you thinking? It just would never dawn on them.
I almost had an opportunity to ink Ordway for a IDW project.
That would have been cool.
It was something really weird, like Star Trek teams up with Batman. I mean, it wasn't that, but it was something that weird. And Ordway had agreed to draw it, and they asked me if I wanted to ink it. Then I said, "Are you kidding? Absolutely." And then they said, "Okay, we just have to clear it with Ordway." And then Ordway said, "Well, that he wanted to ink it himself," and they couldn't afford Ordway's inking rate, so they canceled the project.
Really?
No,
that's pretty extreme. I mean, all you have to do is tell the guy, it's like, dude, we can't afford to have you.
Yeah, see, I would have inked it for free, and they probably knew that. Headless Bourgeoisie says Star Trek Legion of Superheroes. That might have been it. It was a very bizarre team up.
Well, did you guys remember that thing? I think Silvestri did it. It was Star Trek X-Men or something. Somebody help me out. Does that sound familiar, David, to you at all?
What?
Star Trek X-Men by Mark Silvestri?
Yeah, what about it?
That was a thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Star Trek, but I just comic book adaptations of movies and TV shows just never appealed to me.
Me either, for the most part. Yeah.
It just didn't.
Well, it depends on who's drawing it. Like, Jerome Moore drawing Star Trek was awesome.
Well, but he only drew the covers is the problem. He never did any interiors, I don't think. David, are you with us?
What?
Did Jerome ever draw interiors on Star Trek?
Or just the covers?
Just the covers.
Just the covers.
Jerome did very little interior artwork, quite frankly, which is kind of a shame because it was so good. I remember the Ultraverse stuff he did. We were just like, wow, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Jerome could have been the next Adam Hughes or Travis Charest.
Yeah, he really, really could. He was really, really good.
Was that how you say it? Charest?
Charest, isn't it? I don't know.
I thought it was Charest or something. French.
It's Charest in France.
Yeah, what is it here? Who knows? I remember I was at a comic shop one time, and I was asking this guy if he had, do you have this whatever by Bill Sienkiewicz? And he goes, "You mean Sienkiewicz?" And I went, don't double down.
I get that.
Double
Yeah.
down when you're wrong. You know what I mean? Don't argue.
Yeah, I get that all the time with different, like Lytle. I don't know how many times I heard like at conventions, that the Doom Patrol guy, Steve Lightly.
Isn't it Sienkiewicz anyways? Isn't that how you say it? Sienkiewicz.
Yeah, Sienkiewicz. But this guy was arguing with me that it was Sienkiewicz, and I'm like, okay, sure, whatever you say.
Nope.
I
remember that
is suggesting, hey, Ron, maybe revisit Star Trek comics on your next Sunday show.
Interesting. I mean, I did a Star Trek graphic novel, I guess you'd call it, for a prestige format book. God, it was tough. I mean, like the first couple of pages were really good, and then it was like the likenesses just started wearing on me, and you're like,
yeah, that's the problem with the is getting the likenesses, because you're translating. You got to translate to ink a real face. That's not easy.
No, and there's two levels of artistry, right? You got the penciler who comes in and maybe nails the likeness. Now you got to count on the inker not screwing it up.
Right.
Yep. Takes more time.
I'll go.
In storyboards.
Hang on. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah. I say in storyboards, I always call these the tough things to draw, the 4 C's: cars, crowds, cities, celebrities. anytime I got those, I was like,
you throw in an M. Motorcycles.
Yeah, that'll do it too.
Hulk smash. I'll always go with think of Wicks.
Sienkiewicz.
With an X. Wicks.
Yeah.
The only reason I pronounce it the way I do, because Jim Shooter once did a phonetic pronunciation in the comic book. And I get it. I get it now.
So how did
and that's why I said Sienkiewicz, like Kevin almost.
Yeah. Sienkiewicz. That is correct. It's Kevich. Do you remember, Gary, that I think it was Matt Haley and I worked on it. It was mostly Haley because he was better at the likenesses. But we got a job from Premiere Magazine. We were in the studio. You remember that?
Yeah.
Where it was like Brad Pitt as a superhero and Demi Moore as a superhero and Will Smith. And so actually, I think I inked that is what I did. I think Matt drew it, did all the penciling, and got all the likenesses, and then I inked it. But that was kind of cool.
It did. It turned out good.
Premiere Magazine was like a big deal there for a while.
Yeah. Katie says, see y'all later.
Oh.
Well,
taking the kids to the park with some friends on this beautiful warm day. I'll catch the end or replay so far. From what I see, David is kicking ass, although Aaron is looking great. Dan,
no, Katie's.
So Aaron, David is kicking ass. Aaron is looking great, and Dan is gorgeous.
Well, that's good.
I'm not sure about that.
Wait, the drawing or me?
It's the tats, Dan.
The tats, yes. It's all about the tats.
Okay. All right. Enjoy, Katie. Enjoy the warm weather. It's raining here.
Yeah.
Is it time, Gary, for your beef, do you think?
Why not?
I don't even know what time it is. I haven't looked at the old clock on it's 4:07. So we're going to have to wrap this up pretty soon, but not too soon. I mean, let me check these. Stealth X5 for $2. Great pieces, everyone. Thank you, Stealth. And then Stealth for $1 says nothing, but he just gives us $1, and that gosh darn it, that's enough. We appreciate it. We don't need a comment. Just send us money.
Yeah. Maybe we should make it a rule.
It's now time for What's Gary's Beef?
What's Gary's beef?
Okay.
Heard it. My beef this week is drive-through car washes.
Really?
Now, there's a backstory.
Okay. There usually is.
When I was like right out of college, like around that period of time, I had kind of a wild streak before God got a hold of me and, slapped me around and put me on the straight and narrow.
Sure. College wild man happens to all of us a little bit. Yeah.
So
not me.
Well,
at that time, I like to collect car hood ornaments. So I would ride around on my bicycle. Like
this is in college?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ride around my bicycle in like fancy restaurant parking lots. And if I would spy a hood ornament that was not in my collection.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. I'd roll up to it, whip out my trusty wire cutter, grab the hood ornament, and most hood ornaments were on springs. So they were flexible and you can just pull on them and snip, and off I went on my malfeasant tirade.
I'm sorry, Gary. Look at John Beatty. Banana seat, Gary.
You bet.
Sissy bar.
You bet. Yep. And what were those big handlebars? What were those called?
Monkey bars.
There was a
The motorcycle, they're called ape hangers, but they weren't in bicycles, they weren't called that. Anyway, so I had quite a collection. I had several Mercedes hood ornaments, with the big circle with the Mercedes logo in it.
That is the most annoying.
I had 3 different Rolls-Royce hood ornaments.
Oh my gosh. Gary.
Yeah, they were awesome. Could you pull up my screen?
I don't know. I will, Gary, after hearing this.
My prized hood ornament was the Cordoba.
Ooh.
You remember the Chrysler Cordoba commercials with
Got
Ricardo Montalban?
Yeah,
he would
the
describe
fine
the Cordoba with rich Corinthian leather.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Cordoba was my prize hood ornament. So I had quite a few, and finally, like I was looking at my collection, and I had a roommate who was a Christian, and he just said, "Gary, what the heck are you doing with this?" It's like, as it dawned on me, he's like, you're right. What am I doing? Stealing hood ornaments? It's like, imagine the guy who had the Cordoba, brand new Cordoba. He comes out to his driveway to give it a wash or just look at it, and it's like, wait a minute, my hood ornament's gone. Those punks.
This really pisses me off because when I was in LA, I had a 1963 Mercury Comet that my dad had restored, and it had no hood lock or anything like that. And these bums would come by and steal my freaking battery, and I'd come out, and I was a college student. I'm like, I don't have $50 to buy a new battery. Oh, it used to infuriate me. I finally chained the hood down so that with an actual padlock and chain, so that people couldn't get the hood open.
You had a padlock and chain on your car.
Yeah, on the inside. I'd hook it on the inside of the hood and around the grill, so they could not open the hood and steal the battery. And then the car got stolen. So then when I got that back and got it fixed, then I would pull the distributor cap loose and then chain the hood down so they couldn't start the car and they couldn't steal the battery.
Man, where did you live?
I was in Culver City in LA.
Oh, okay.
And I was down by, well, the first year I was just a couple blocks off campus of USC, and that is not a good neighborhood no matter which way you're going.
So for some reason, I had this fetish for these, chrome, sculptures that were on fancy cars. And even to this day, I still appreciate a good hood ornament.
Oh, okay.
To the point to where several years ago, I bought a Jaguar X-Type that has, where is it?
Hang on a second. Do you go to a pawn shop to get this? So then you're buying a hood ornament that someone else stole.
No, I'm talking about the car.
Oh, you actually bought the car to get
Bought
the
a car, Jaguar X-Type. I actually still have it. I don't drive it that much. It's an 04, but it's still in good condition. Here is a picture of the Jaguar hood ornament. I mean, how cool is that?
That is
that's cool, man.
Yeah, they call it, Jaguar calls it, they don't call it a hood ornament. They just call it the leaper. So if you wanted to, order one.
Okay, now hang on. So you're saying you bought
I bought a Jaguar just because of the hood ornament.
That's what I was getting at. Now,
did somebody steal it?
Yeah.
Well,
did you cut the hood ornament off and then return the car? I don't want it anymore.
I hand wash this vehicle, but every once in a while, like in an emergency, I would take it through a car wash.
Uh-oh.
And guess what happened? I came out at the other end of the car wash, and the hood ornament was gone.
The one reason you bought the car.
That's why I bought the car. The hood ornament was literally gone. And when you come out of the car wash and it's spraying water and you wipe your window, and then I look out and it's like something's missing. My chrome bleeper is gone. And that's when I realized that God himself had reached down and tore off my hood ornament to teach me a lesson. Because I felt what all those people felt years before realizing that the hood ornament was gone. And it took years, literally decades. Yeah, John Beatty's right. Revenge is mine. Yeah, so that's finally, God teaching me the lesson other than me just repenting and not doing it anymore. There's consequences.
Just in case you didn't get the message.
Right.
That's right, that you didn't get the memo.
But the good side of the story was that I put in a claim to the car wash, and they paid for it.
Now that's interesting because don't they usually say they're not responsible for damage done to your vehicle?
Well, see, I didn't know, but I just put in a claim and I had to mail it in, and then they said, "Well, go get an estimate, and we'll send you a check."
Well, where did it go?
I went to a auto body place that repairs Jaguars, and the lady looked in her parts book. Then I'm standing there, at the desk, and she's looking at her parts book, and I'm watching her. It's just like this telephone thick. I mean, it was like 8 inches thick. And she looks up the part, and then she's like pauses and goes, "Oh, they really like their hood ornament." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "To replace it, it's going to cost $250.
Oh my gosh.
So the car wash, bless their little hearts, ponied up $250 to replace the hood ornament.
Well, it is a Jaguar,
Yeah. So anyway, crime does not pay.
Revenge. Yeah, got or justice maybe would be the best way to put that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
No, that's what you get for being a punk, Gary, especially in college.
And I had a very impressive hood ornament collection.
Now, what did you do with that when you the guilt set in and you repented? You said, "I can't act like this. I'm going to be a Christian."
No, exactly. It's like, why am I doing this? I mean, it's and
Well, what
and
did you
you know,
do
trying to
with it,
think of
though?
what the owners of the vehicles thought that if I had, like, let's say I had a Rolls Royce and I came out one day and the ornament was gone, I would not be happy.
No. Well, what did you do with your collection once you decided that, you know?
Well, I couldn't return them because they were most of my ill-gotten ornaments were taken from like parking lots and places like that. So I just threw them away.
Oh my gosh, Gary!
What?
You're a freaking criminal.
Well, I mean, I didn't, you know, sell them at a parts place or anything. I just threw them in my apartment's dumpster.
So no one could benefit further
Right.
from your crimes.
Right.
Okay. I would think at this point the chat may think less of you, Gary.
Well, see, I'm admitting my checkered past.
Confession is good for the soul.
Yeah. I think this is the first time I've admitted doing that publicly.
Don't you feel better?
No. But I mean, just the experience of seeing my hood ornament, you know, vanish. It's like maybe that's what they felt.
Incredible. If I may, we've got over 450 people viewing right now. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like and subscribe if you have not done so already, it does help the channel grow, and we can maybe one day get David Williams a better microphone. So keep that in mind and help us out by liking and subscribing and all that good stuff.
He's going through his crawl space right now.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Michael Bancroft says, not a lot of difference between an ink pen and a shiv. That's good.
Avengers.
I need David, you're killing us right now. What are you
What's
doing?
going on?
Shut up.
He's trying to, he's adjusting his mic.
Okay.
Brian Smith says, I'm more okay with art swipes than hood ornament swipes. People in the chat are appalled.
They should be. This is incredible. I mean, I don't know what I'm more appalled at, the fact that you were stealing hood ornaments or that you were riding a bike in college. I can't figure out.
No, just for my quick getaway, because I could get in, you know, ride through a parking lot and then take off quickly. That's the reason why I did it. So I had a car back then, but I didn't, you know.
So this was not.
Hey, Aaron, trust me, the bike worked really well.
This isn't like a spur of the moment thing. You were like a gang member. You planned this out. We got to get a bike, you know, for an easy getaway. And yeah, there's just some.
Best name I can think of says, what hurt worse, Gary, the guilt or Tina's pencil? But John,
question.
you're right. Messing with someone's car is pretty low. So yeah, you're right.
Well, good thing you were just in college and not like a little kid doing that.
Yeah,
you know?
doing it like what, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Brian.
Would you do like if you got caught doing that, is that like it's probably just a misdemeanor, right? Or would it be considered a
Well, what's the, where do they draw the line on the expo? Because I'm assuming like a Rolls Royce hood ornament has got to be pricey.
well, if your Jaguar is $200.
Well, that was years later though.
Oh, that's true.
$250, and that's just for the ornament. That's not for labor to replace it.
You were probably one of those guys who like, yeah, they got insurance, they're rich, doesn't matter.
Just like any other criminal, I didn't think of the point of view of the victim.
Yeah. Well, Gary, I hope that you've learned a valuable lesson from this.
I did. I did. Never use a automatic
car
car
wash.
wash with my Jaguar with the hood ornament. That's the lesson I learned.
Oh man!
I actually started carrying my own tape. So, like, if I had to go to a car wash, I could tape it down.
Well, how do you tape? What do you mean? How do you tape it down?
You just put tape on it. Tape it to the hood.
Like bend it over where it's like.
No, you just cover it. You cover
I
it
see
with the ornament and tape
Okay.
it to the hood.
So it'd take a real serious act of God to rip it off there at that point.
Well, just going through the car wash. I'm not talking about driving around, so no punk like me would steal it.
So if you went through the car wash, what happened to the ornament? Where did it?
I have no idea. That's why I blame God for reaching down and taking it.
It's completely impossible, and yet.
Yeah, I have no idea where it went. And they looked for it. I mean, they shut the car wash down and walked through it. Couldn't find it. Headless Bourgeoisie says, I think $700 is when it becomes a felony.
Well, here's what
he says it might vary from state to state.
Well, if you now see, this may be a way if like the guys you were stealing from, like the guy with the Rolls Royce, he comes out and he's like, holy crap, what happened to my hood ornament? And then he realizes, you know what? If I take this car through the car wash and then say it broke off in the car wash, I can get it replaced.
That's true.
Very mastermind of you.
True.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
All right, I'm done.
I know, but I got
John Beatty says, that's an odd fetish. Now, let me tell you mine.
Oh my gosh! I gotta get done, but I got black to fill in here. So give me 5 more minutes.
5 minutes.
I was walking through the department store and I saw that Precious Moments figurine and couldn't help myself.
We're all confessing now. Is that what's going on?
I'm thinking of a weird fetish, like weird.
Precious Moments big. I'm actually
My addiction.
I've got to use a brush and India ink on it. I can't get it filled in quick enough with a marker. I'm going old school. I'm going John Beatty right now. How common was it to have someone filling in your blacks for you as an anchor? Did everybody have an assistant doing that, or was it just?
No, I mean, it just depended on your situation. You can't. If you work in an area that's rich with artists and artist wannabes, like New Jersey, they've got the Kubert School, so there's lots of people looking for assistant work, or in my day, you had to live in New York to get work when I was first starting out, and so there were artists everywhere. Now it's hard because, like, if I wanted an assistant, I don't know what I would do because you'd have to have somebody close by.
Gary, what do you think of this crime? Mickey stole her sister's Doritos.
Depends on what flavor they were.
Well, you could get like food color poisoning, so I don't know if that's a crime. You're saving her, so it's
okay. It's like jumping on the grenade. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
When I wanted to get into comics as a kid, I was under the impression I would have to move to New York, and by the time I actually did break in, FedEx had become a thing, so it wasn't an essential.
You didn't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, I still had to go to New York to get the work, but I could do the work once I got it, I could do it at home and FedEx it in.
Yeah. Yeah, Mickey, Cool Ranch. Yeah, that's my jam.
Would you have okay? Just
before you ask.
Wow, Gary, you're actually putting a tune together there. All right, hang on. I am so close to being done, but Thank you for the super chat. Best name I can think of for $5 says, my grandmother gave me $20 and said, don't tell your mother. I said, it will cost you more than that.
That's good.
That's very good.
That is good. I like that. Sequential for 5 says, there was probably a kid with a bike hanging around the car wash who grabbed it when no one was looking. So
I had never thought of that. You're right.
that would have been the perfect
Some
revenge.
kind of bike hanging around the car wash.
Look at, see, he didn't, that way you don't feel guilty at all because he didn't actually commit the crime. He just, it broke off and he just picked it up, you know?
What if it was you in like a sort of a time loop? You actually stole it from yourself.
I would have remembered.
That is weird. That could be. I never thought of that. So Gary got in a time loop and victimized himself. That would be the ultimate poetic justice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I hate myself.
Now, Gary, were you as a younger person, like a kid, like, you know, teenager or younger, were you a criminal as well? Or did this happen when you were in college?
No, I mean, I played basketball like in the park.
Yeah.
At the playground, and I'd be like, hey, that's 3 seconds in the key. I mean, that's how strict I was with rules, even street ball. So no, I was very strict with rules. So I don't know what happened. I just, you know, food ornaments.
Shiny object.
Yeah, no, it wasn't shiny objects. It was food ornaments. I like 3D art, glass, you know, like glass art. I like bronze sculptures, you know, that kind of thing. And I guess that's what food ornaments.
So
what you started out
I have like 5 or 6 bronze statues in my house.
Okay, so what you're saying?
Did you steal them? I had to ask.
No, I legitimately.
Wait, are you like a jewel thief? Because you kind of look like the type.
Yeah.
See, I gave that up back then. I gave it up.
I don't know. You know, I think what you're telling me is if I go to a convention and I see like a Man-Thing statue that I like, I should just take it. Because I have an affinity for statues and stuff, right? Isn't that kind of what you're getting at?
Well, then, you know, next time you are taking your Man-Thing statue through a car wash, look out. Mickey says, Oceans, Gary.
Okay, I'm done. All right. So this is, I guess, Wonder Girl and Deathstroke, the Terminator. Here we go.
Oh, cool! Wow.
Nice, I like it.
When you're drawing the curve of his head, I thought that was her lasso. I thought she was doing some kind of trick, and I thought, oh, this is
that would have been actually that'd have been better than. Actually, let me switch out of this so I can do this better full screen. Here we go. There, now we can see it kind of.
That's impressive.
There you go.
That was a good call to do them both.
Thank you. And I you know, I started over as I often do, but you know, you eventually get it right, and that's kind of what you're going for there. So James Hunsiker says 3rd place. It's not a competition, James, but thank you. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Marcus Killiger is giving me the thumbs up, so I'll take that as he thinks I'm the best. So, okay. David, are you still with me?
Thumbs up does not mean the best. What are you talking about?
Well, it doesn't?
No.
Okay.
It could be get lost, buddy.
Best name I could think of is Wonder Girl a go-go dancer.
John Beatty said he'll let David point out the tangent. Is there a tangent on here?
What?
I don't think there's a tangent on my drawings. I think he's referring to me having a tangent on my drawing. I don't see it.
Can we start an auction right now for David's piece?
Oh, that is great. Nice.
Very nice. Look at that.
I tried to win by not drawing teenage titties.
Oh, I have no such scruples.
I should have gone for Deathstroke and just forgot about Wonder Girl. What can I do?
Yeah, I was just thinking, wait a minute, this is teen? Holy shit.
No, that's
I didn't
awesome.
think about that.
Marcus Killigrew says David is back. Very cool. Great hand, says Michael Bancroft. And he would know, he's from Australia. I don't even know what that means. So
Well, see, I never really liked Robin, but David always draws Robin, but he actually looks cool.
Yeah, he's got character.
Right.
well, he didn't draw him in his little diaper pants
Got
either.
attitude.
Well, he's always has an attitude, he's
Yeah.
not, golly, Bruce, he's not that Robin.
He's a kick butt Robin. He's about ready to throw that batarang right in your throat. Jack Elmy says David Williams wins again. It's not a competition.
You haven't even seen mine.
It's like, it looks like Robin is saying, telling me, "Hey, punk, to get away from that Batmobile."
Exactly. Rant Market says, David, did you build that light table? It looks handmade.
No, it's a light table built for animators.
There you go. Old school stuff right there. All right. Very nice, David, as usual. All right. Let's see what Lawless had. Oh, holy smokes. Gazongas, baby.
Yeah, I kind of went to town, didn't I?
Yeah, zero in on her eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The teen titties.
Look, yeah, it's like our Dan and ours teenage girls look a little bit older than
Well, I'm looking at this is the way she looked in the Teen Titans book.
That's true.
Hey, Aaron, check out her hood ornaments.
Teen tittens.
Michael Bancroft says, talk about top heavy. Passmaster Dan says, huge eyes, leg kick. Dang, Dan. Hulk Smash says, that's the way Perez would have drawn her.
Yeah, see, I'm just following tradition.
Now, Queen Mickey's just going lol, so you can interpret that any way you want. Oh, yeah. John Beatty's doing it too.
David G says, wait, she has eyes?
Yeah. Passmaster Dan says, stripper girl. Karan says, Gary mentioned New Jersey, and I appeared like the genie from Aladdin. Thanks a lot, Gary. Now we know the secret, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so here we go. James Hunsinger puts them in order. He says, Williams number 1, Lawless second, Lopez third. What a bunch of crap. But it doesn't offend me. It doesn't offend me because it's not a competition.
Yeah, so, not a competition when you lose.
Darren's so used to winning that if he doesn't, it's like, it's a big deal.
I'm a bit of a baby, that's for sure. Stealth says, is there an auction? Well, as you know, Stealth, everything is always for sale. Yeah. So Rand Arrington says, I think I know where she gets her powers from. Creative Face says, some girls mature early. It's true.
Yeah, well, that certainly happened, actually.
Dan should do a female Conan book. Like, is that like a gender swapping thing where Conan's a woman or just a female
like
barbarian?
Red Sonja?
Yeah, is that Red Sonja or just, I'm not sure. Okay, James Hunsker. Now, James is like, finish the line, Aaron. I said yours was still great, just third grade. Okay, I got you.
All right, am I done?
No, you're never done until we're through laughing. But
hold it up.
There you go. You can take it down.
Can't do manual labor.
Marcus Killiger says, female barbarian. He's not gender swapping Conan. Okay. Helium filled helps her fly, says the beam pad.
That I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Hydrogen. They really exploded.
Woo! All righty. You know what? We had a huge audience. This is like, I think our biggest audience. We're at 470 watching right now.
Really?
We appreciate it. We're going to get to 1,000 someday, and that's when I'll bring out the heavy hitters and really try.
Hey, can I say something? I was looking at can you bring up your campaign at all? Because I was looking at it the other day, and it's at like 77,000, and I'm thinking that needs to get to six figures. So, people in the chat, if you can send this to people you know, family members, people you might enjoy, might not read comics, and see if we can't get this baby.
Some poor hoodlum wannabe who rides around on a bicycle. Get him to start reading comics.
Yeah, it's got moral values in it. It's good. It's a good book. So
it is. It's Wraith of God 3, Fear Hollow, 64 pages of the Wraith and Esther. It's kind of a Batman of the Old West. He's a master of disguise and illusion, and they hunt monsters in the Old West. And in this particular one, they're facing off with the Headless Horseman. There's 4 cover options. There's the EC variant, the 1972 Marvel box variant, and then, of course, the great painted cover by Chris Stevens. Lots of good stuff on this campaign. You'll find a link in the description of this video.
I backed it the other day, and I got the poker chip perk.
Well, thank you very much, Gary. There's poker chips in there. Shot glasses, poker chips. T-shirts are coming soon, you guys. T-shirts are coming soon. So we're going to redo the Keown Werewolf cover as a T-shirt, which we did before, and then the Bisley cover from Wraith of God 2 will be a T-shirt design as well. So, and again, Dan's got a, what's the name of that book that you just did the cover for?
Silence Do Good. It's Ben Franklin's Silence Do Good. He's a time travel agent.
That's on Indiegogo. David, of course, has got Fearsome with EVS. There's some of the pages right there. Let's take a quick look at this stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Kind of a superhero horror comic.
Holy smoke.
Yeah. Supernatural.
David, I'm going to be riding around your house on my bike waiting for you to leave.
He's going to go and steal pages off the hood of your car, so be careful.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting. And who's coloring it? Right?
Jason Wright.
Oh yeah,
he's coloring Wraith of God.
I love his colors. They're just so good.
But anyway, you guys, you'll find links for all of this stuff in the description of the video, of this video. And as always, we appreciate you guys helping us out by showing up in the chat, watching the program, cracking jokes. John Beatty, of course. What about Kelsey? We say that all the time. What about Kelsey? Thank you guys for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening and the rest of your week. And remember, Sundays at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time is Aaron Live. And then, of course, next week we'll roll right around and we'll be back with Graybeard's Studio. Thanks for joining us. We will see you